Sandy and I were out for a Sabbath walk, and we hadn't left our trailer for very far when I looked ahead and I saw something, and I said to Sam, "Come quick and look." And so she ran up and she goes, "What?" And I said, "Look there." And there was this cat with its back to us in hunting mode, and it heard me and it took off.
I called Kitty Kitty, hoping that it might stop, and it did stop momentarily, looked back, and then took off and fled. So we knew that it probably had been a domesticated cat at some point, because wild cats will generally flee from you the moment you talk to them.
Right. What you're looking at here in the scene is the cat. In the next couple days, it showed up on a log deck, and it was meowing like crazy when I came out the door. So I talked to it a little bit, and then I went back in and told Sandy. I was just like talking and meowing back to it.
And Barney wanted to get it some food because he figured it was hungry.
It looked real hungry.
And we didn't have any cat food, or we didn't really know what to feed it. So I thought, well, I'll scramble it up an egg. And Barney went out after that and took it out to the cat. And what you're seeing here is a little tinfoil dish I had made
Yeah.
with the cat food in it. And this is her kind of sneaking up on it and having a bite. You can see that she's pretty hungry.
Yeah, and as she snuck up there, you can see like her ribs were sticking out. This little cat was in serious hunger, as Sam said. It licked up every little crumb here. And so Sam and I figured it needed more. You went about cooking up some more eggs, didn't you?
Yeah, I cooked up another 2 eggs for it. And we didn't know whether it was male or female, of course.
And she's licking up every crumb here, as you can see. Then she just up and walked off, heading back out into the forest. This is me putting down 2 more eggs Sandy cooked into the dish. And the cat is just off to the left here. You'll see it in a second. And it stopped as soon as I touched that food dish. So I was slowly putting it in there, letting the cat watch me. And it was curious because it stopped it in its tracks here.
She was very inquisitive as to what you were doing.
Yeah, then I just turned around and walked away without looking at the cat, like it was just normal. We figured she was hungry.
It didn't take her long. Hunger won out. She was clearly still hungry. 1 egg wasn't enough.
Yeah, we also put a little water dish down beside Sandy's tinfoil dish that she made. But she's on high alert. She didn't really trust anything, did she, Sam? I mean, if the wind blew, she was looking in every direction, but we soon figured out why once we saw that she was wounded. So here she is, gobbling down 2 more eggs. And she, I don't know if that's a normal dish for a cat, is it? Birds are, but this one wasn't hatched yet. Or these 2 weren't hatched yet.
So when she was done this, it takes her quite a while to nibble this one back. But when she was done this one, there was a couple crumbs left in the dish, and so we felt that she was probably full for now. And we never made her anything else at that time. After that, we started putting leftovers out for her, and the food always disappeared. We saw her, but she didn't
just
really...
flighty, eh? Kind of real flighty.
She didn't really want to spend a lot of time around us or anything. It wasn't long after this. Maybe by the 3rd day, we decided that the cat was going to be sticking around, and so we went to town and got some high-protein cat food for it, and we felt that it really needed a real boost, more than scrambled eggs.
The cat, we figured, had a shrunken stomach, basically, I think, from starvation. We realized that this little cat had been living under one of our log decks in the yard. and it had probably survived through the winter here under a log deck because we had set up a game cam, Sandy and I, and we left it there in the wintertime to see what was traveling through the yard on the game trail. And we got all sorts of predators on there, and then game is, of course, like hunting game you'd go after for eating. And then here's a house cat in one of the photos. There'd be a fox or a coyote, coming along, and here was a house cat. And we were like, what's a house cat doing up there in the dead of winter?
Unfortunately, we deleted the picture thinking, oh, well, that's nothing unusual to see a cat.
Yeah.
But then the more we thought about it after we deleted it, we thought, well, hey, wait a minute, that was very unusual.
So right here on the cat, on the back left hip here, you can see we were not able to get close to her, but we got close enough. We can see there's a wound there, and there's actually way more fur missing than what it shows, and it has puncture wounds in it. And there's also one on the other side of the spine. So something almost got this little kitty in past days.
Hi. Hello. Come here, little kitty. Come here. Hello. Hi. Hello. Meow. 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 Hello. Hi. Hi. Meow. 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 Meow.
Shortly after we got acquainted with this kitty, our neighbor came by and Barney was telling him about this cat, and he goes, well, I would like to see this cat. And so Barney and him went over to the log deck, and Barney called it out, and it came, and the neighbor got a video of it, and he then took the video down to his wife because he thought perhaps this was a missing cat of hers. And when she saw the video, she thought, yeah, that could be one of my missing cats. And so the two of them came up a day or two later with a cat carrier, and we had said, you're welcome to take the kitty home. We want it to be happy wherever it's supposed to be. And then they told us that this cat had come back once or twice last winter and had a little bit of food and then would leave again. But they said it always gets beat up by the other furry friends down on the farm. They have dogs and other cats, and this particular one got beat up. And so they said, we will happily take it home if you don't want it. But all four of us agreed that it would just run away again. So we said, you know what? This little kitty can stay here as long as it wants to. If it chooses to go home, it can do that too. And so that was the decision that was made. And so then Barney and I, we learned that this little kitty was 4 or 5 years old in these pictures when we first got her, and that she had been spayed, and her previous owner had called her Sassy. We were trying to think of a name for her, and we thought, God had blessed this cat with survival, and she was still alive, and we thought Miracle was a good name for her. But the more we got to know her, the more we realized that she liked to do a lot of talking and didn't really like to stop. So we decided to call her Miss Mew.
Here I am building the small cat apartment. This is a back door I'm putting on that will be inside of the solar shed. And it allows us to change the blankets and stuff. There's some foam on there because the first thing I did was crack my head on it. That's to protect the skull. And it has R10 insulation in it and a cat door out the other side, which left the building down a ramp and away. The cat did not like this apartment. It I don't know if it's scared of heights or what, but we couldn't get it to stay in there. At 30 below, it would crawl under the trailer and come out with frosty whiskers. And we could put her in here, she'd come out nice and warm, and she wouldn't go back in it. So I guess she didn't want an apartment, penthouse.
So we decided that since she didn't like her house up high and the weather was so cold, we thought we would uninstall it out of the solar shed and put it under the camper. And in this part of the clip here, I'm just cleaning it out, putting some fresh towels in there for bedding for her. And she loved it under there. You know, it was the strangest thing. We made this really nice, warm, protected house for her, very up high, so she would not be harmed by predators. But she chose to enjoy the basement suite underneath our camper. And so that's where she spent the winter. And, you know, it really made a fabulous difference for her, because when it was minus 30 and colder, she would come out from underneath the camper all frosty and cold. But when she came out, once the house was in there, she was stretching and warm and very content. A little awkward to get in there. But once it's there, it's there for a while. We just put a little mat in there for her and a piece of cardboard, because the rocks in the wintertime would stick to her feet. And so this was her protection all winter, and we slept directly above her.
Here's our plump little kitty as she put on a lot of weight. She looks kind of Garfield, as Sandy said, but that was okay by us. She didn't stray very far from our footprints in the winter, or when I plowed the yard, then she would go look around. But you could see here, feet would freeze up. She'd be sitting there picking the snow out from between her toes, and when she got on those rocks, as Sandy said, they would stick to her feet and she'd be shaking those off. She had a terrible time. She just didn't appreciate it. I don't know how she survived. No wonder that's why she was probably so skinny and hurt by the time
she adopted us.
She adopted us.
She lets me snuggle with her on her terms. I can pick her up and we can pet her. But if I walk with her in my arms, no, that's not allowed. She jumps down immediately. If we pet her anywhere than where she's comfortable, that's not allowed. But she obviously needs some snuggles, and she does enjoy it here with us. And we've grown to really care for her. Let's go to the outhouse. Come on.
She knows Sandy's off the outhouse. She'll beat her there. She's got to stay ahead. There you go. Look at you, eh? Get you all prettied up. Yeah. Sandy got her used to this. Barney's just doing it because Sandy's holding the camera. Does that feel nice? What's coming out of you? Holy. That pretty good? How about on this side? Was that pretty good? There you go. Okay, you ready to go for a walk? We got to go over to the cabin. There you go. All right, come on, let's go. Come on, Mew. I don't know how she's never been ate, because even when she goes walking off into the bush to go hunting, she's meow, 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 meow. And I'm like, how hard did her angels have to work to keep her alive?
I asked God one day while she was meowing at us, and we were, for sure not cat people. We've grown to really care about this little kitty though, but I asked God one day, I said, Lord, why did you bring us this cat? And the words I heard in my head were, this cat needed you and you needed her. Good night, Barn. Night, Miss Mew.
Good night, Sam. Good night, Miss Mew.